Z. You know the chop. I.S.U.P.K. Badness no sad. Let me tell you how the badness steer. Dopey bad fly when the clock display. Tell a boy say no try box this face. Back switch face. You know how your blood clot casket stay, boy. You must see one Baptist prayer. When the map stick raise that leg straight. Shot misplaced. The key them in your head stop misbehave. Crack his face. The key never tell us we lock this place. Which locksmith anyway watch this space. War red them bunny like plastic plate. Hey, we don't play around. When you see the U.P.K. around, we bring the fucking AK around. AR-15s and AR rounds. We don't play around. When you see the U.P.K. around, we bring the fucking AK around.
Shalom Israel, my name is Officer Kayadwan out of I.S.U.P.K, Jamaica. I.S.U.P.K started 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. I.S.U.P.K is run by Commanding General YAHANNA, the one man with the rank and the authority to lead Israel at this time. I say Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Brakatam to my brothers, Yahweh Shamar Ailatan Ba'Shem Yahushai to my sisters. Alright, so today we're going to talk about brotherhood, you know what I mean, and how brotherhood is lacking inside of our communities as black, Hispanics and native Indians. So may I say, alright, so right now, you know, we all know about the killing too, you know, you see, the killing with the woman in a Chilani, see? You see, if there was brotherhood in another church there, you know, say that woman there would be dead though. Because watch you now, where is the brotherhood that makes the members in the church or the pastor think about the lives, you know what I mean, of his members? Just think about that for a second. If there was brotherhood, there should have been a security protocol. See? You know what I mean? Because after all, you know what I mean, the crime rate is up within the society. You see? Yeah man, the crime rate up. Murders are going on right now. You see? So, where is the security protocol to protect the members in your church? Alright. And there are men in the church, right? There are a lot of men in the church. So why aren't they on guard to protect the women and the children in the church? Alright. So the main focus of this breakdown still is brotherhood. You understand? But we have to touch upon the story there. You see? We have to touch a little upon that story to show you that a Christian pastor does not have brotherhood. You understand? And that your Christian pastor is a coward. I will prove it out of the pastor mouth himself that he said he froze when he saw his member, his sister dying. You know what I mean? But we will touch upon that soon. But the first scripture I have a pull is 1 John 4 verse 20 to 21. Which says, if any man say, I love God, and hateth his brother, he is a liar. For he that loveth not his brother, whom he has seen, how can he love God, whom he has not seen? You understand? And this is so right, because you never see the Most High one day in your life. You know what I mean? So how can you say you love God, you know what I mean, and you hate your brother? Or in this case, you hate your sister. So the stepson now who hired, you know what I mean, the men to kill his stepmother, where's the love for your sister? You know what I mean? That just proves you don't love God. You understand? So you murder your sister because you don't love the Most High. You understand? Alright, continuing. Verse 21. And this commandment have we from him, that he who love God love his brother also. So you can't justify a murder. You know what I mean? Because if you don't love your brother, so what I say, you don't love the Most High. You see? And the Most High now will help you when, you know what I mean, you commit such an act against your own sister. You know what I mean? Regardless of what the reason is. You know what I mean? Obviously there was some lack of brotherhood and sisterhood among them both. You understand? Money did for share up. You know what I mean? Man never get him father, you know what I mean, dead left. You know what I mean? Father, wife want to take the whole of the money. All of them things they that go on. So no brother would and no sister would never do it, but it still don't justify murder. You understand? So that is what that is. So the next scripture I'm gonna pull now, see, is Matthew. Matthew chapter 5, verse 22. Which says, "But I say unto you, that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of the judgment, and whosoever shall say to his brother, Raka, shall be in danger of the council. But whosoever shall say, thou fool, shall be in danger of hellfire." You understand? So, the most Christ is saying right here that you should not be angry at your brother without cause. You understand? So, sometimes we have cause to be angry, you know, but pray this now. That is where murder come from, you know. So it no make no sense you hold no thought in your brain against nobody because that will just lead to murder. You know what I mean? The point of brotherhood is forgiveness. You understand? We're going to touch a scripture where I speak about that. You know what I mean? As a matter of fact, that's the next scripture coming up. The next scripture I'm going to pull is Matthew 18, verse 21 to 22. See? Which says, then came Peter to him and said, Lord, how oft, which means more, how often, see, shall my brother sin against me, and I forgive him till 7 times? So Peter asks Yahushua, which, you know what I mean, the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. He might ask him, how often shall my brother sin against me, and I forgive him? Till 7 times. But here where Yahushua says him, then Salakia, Jesus answered him, I say not unto thee until 7 times, but until 70 times 7. You understand? So Yahushua answer him and say, not until 7 times, till 70 times 7. In other words, always forgive your brother. And in this case, you know what I mean, it's a brother and sister. So you can't justify murder. You know what I mean? You can't justify killing or no care what the cause is. You understand? You must always be willing to forgive your brother or your sister. You understand? Because what you know, the way the most law go, you know, against when it comes to the children of Israel, you know, we break the most law, we go pay for it. So you kill the sister and think say yo, you gotta get to scot free, but see there, in no time you get held and right you know you're there jail. So who win in another situation? She dead, you gone to jail. You understand? Because guess what? Once you break the most laws, guess what will happen? You have to pay the consequences. You get what I say? Alright, so the next scripture I'm going to pull is Matthew 25 and 40. Which says, and the king shall answer and say unto them, verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these my brethren, ye have done it unto me. Right? So, now, let me address the woman side of the story. You know what I mean? The woman who was killed in the church. So, you know, say, if you did love your husband, you know, you would have shared the wealth among his children. You wouldn't deal with him children in such an evil way. You understand? So this scripture is saying, which this is a parable, and the king in this scenario, see, is Christ. You know what I mean? And here where Christ said, inasmuch as you have done it to the least of these my brethren, you have done it unto me also. So how can you say you love Christ and sit down in that Christian church praying and praising Christ, but yet still you rob somebody of them inheritance? You don't love Christ then. And that is where death stems from. And to make it even worse, see, you sit down in a Christian church that teach you that you can break the Most High law. You know what I mean? So you basically call them your death on your own head. Condolence to the sister. There's no justified as a murder. The brother is totally wrong, and those brothers who participated in the act that is extreme, that is totally wrong. You understand? At no point we support murder. You understand? But when you do such a thing as, you know what I mean, doing unto somebody something that you wouldn't want to be done to yourself, it's like you're planting a bad seed within that person. You understand? Which will make the person hold a grudge against you, you know what I mean, to premeditate, to harm you, which that is not brotherly or sisterly. You understand? So you have to think about that. And had the Christian church taught you, you know what I mean, had that cowardly pastor teach in his church brotherhood and sisterhood, you would have not done that. You would have give the man him just due. You understand? You'd have made the young man, you know what I mean, be able to walk away happy and please. You understand? When they come to some amicable conclusion of the matter, but through greed, you know what I mean, here's what it leads to. You understand? Alright, so watch out now. We're going to jump to another scripture. It's touching on the same subject area, right? So, don't do unto somebody what you won't want to do and be done to you, which is, you know what I mean, Luke 6:31. Which says, and as ye would that men should do to you, do ye also to them likewise. This go for both parties, see? Both the brother, the stepson, and the stepmother. See? You would want a man coming up your house and fire some shot in a your back. You know what I mean? So don't do it to others. You understand? And you, sister, you don't want to say, boy, you supposed to get some funds or your parents dead left something, see? And you deserve your inheritance and you're being robbed of your inheritance. You understand? That is not brotherhood and sisterhood. You know what I mean? And this can only lead to conflict. You understand? And brotherhood and sisterhood is something that is really lacking amongst the black Hispanics and native Indian community, which we are the children of Israel. You understand? These laws in the Bible are given to us. You know what I mean? Where if we break them, we pay the consequences. We die. You understand? And it's not a thing where we can go around. You understand? So, and another thing. You know what I mean? And I put it on many of the posts them where I see many of you comment upon. You see me? Had God been in that Christian church, that would have never happened. You hear me I say? God is not in that Christian church. That Christian church is a house of sin, where your pastor do not teach the laws that are written in this book. You understand? And they do not practice it. All they do is sing and pray. And to the sky pray. To who? Not the God of this Bible. Because if you break his law, your sin is as an abomination to him. Thus says the word of the Most High. So, God is not in that church. Hence, the woman was able to lose her life like that. You understand? Alright, your pastor in that church is no prophet. As a matter of fact, no pastor in no church no way is a prophet. You understand? I'm going to prove it when I read the article. Say your pastor is not a prophet. You understand? Alright, so the next scripture I'm going to pull is Mark chapter 12 verse 31. Which says, heaven and earth, Slakia. Mark chapter 12 verse 31. Which says, and the second is like, namely this, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. There is none other commandment greater than these. You understand? So, as she love her neighbor, which is her stepson, you know what I mean, as herself, she would have shared the wealth. And had the brother love his neighbor, which is his stepmother, as himself, him wouldn't have the heart to come squeeze some, or send, pay some man to come squeeze some shot in her back. In the church. You get to me I say? So, you know what I mean? No love. Love is lacking among the black Hispanics and native Indian community. You understand? And that is the reason why the crime rate is so high among our community. You know what I mean? There's no love amongst us. But this is a commandment from your our Shai, which is Christ. Him say, yo, have love one to another. You understand? Alright. Next scripture I'm going to pull is John chapter 13 verse 34 to 35. Which says, "A new commandment I give unto you, that ye love one another as I have loved you, that ye also love one another." Verse 35, "By this shall all men know that ye are my disciples, if ye have love one unto another." Alright, so watch this now. I post the thing on Facebook, and many I say, well, I saw the Most High disciples them dead, so why me I say it the woman, you know what I mean, if she gonna hell or heaven. Which, you know what I mean, you must just watch the video them and get the point to me and try make. You see? Alright, pray this now. Where's the love that she have to prove that she was Christ's disciple? Where was the love towards her stepson? Since you say she get persecuted because she a Christ's disciple. Where was the love of sharing the wealth and the inheritance? She did not do that. Hence the young man come with a vengeance and kill her. See? So, how can you call her Christ's disciple when, you know what I mean, she did so much things that would cause, you know what I mean, others to want to take her life? Family dispute, you know what I mean, that is what them say. Cause the thing, family dispute amongst, you know what I mean, the man will drop out, son and she, because of the sharing up of the wealth. Where was fear brotherhood and sisterhood? Where was fear sisterhood? See? Where she say, yo, alright. Because of love and compassion, you know what I mean? Me will bear some of the loss to make you eat a food. Where is that? And she got church, you know, is a Christian woman. Why is there this greed of gain if you were a disciple of the Most High? So, no for we are comment under the picture. You know what I mean, under the post. You can't say this lady was a disciple of the Most High. One, she in a church a worship who know, God knows who, because the God of the Bible though. In other church there. You see? Secondly, where is her sisterhood to prove that she is a disciple of Christ? So therefore she is not being persecuted. Her murder is not as a result of she being a follower of Christ. Her murder is just as a result of lack of brotherhood and sisterhood among she and her stepson. You understand? That's all it was. Alright, so the next scripture I'm going to pull is John chapter 15 verse 12 to 14, which says, "This is my commandment, that ye love one another as I have loved you." Verse 13, "Greater love has no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friend." Alright, pre this now, and we are going to the pastor now. This I will take us straight to the pastor now. Why wasn't the pastor willing to lay down his life for one of his members in his church? You know what I mean? Alright, say him not have the guts, say him couldn't reach in time. Where was the security protocol in the church? Seeing that crime and violence is so rampant right now in our communities in Jamaica. See? Where was the brotherhood for the care of the sisters and the children and the members in the church, that you put a security protocol in place to protect them life? Because had there been a security protocol at the door or at the gate, you know what I mean, those young men would have never been able to come in our church with a firearm, you get me? Somebody would have did it to pop them down and say, yo, you know what I mean, you have any weapon? You understand? Where was that? There's no brotherhood nor sisterhood in the church, and there's no laying down one's life for them friend in the church, because the Christian pastor is a poor shepherd. As a matter of fact, he's a wolf, not a shepherd. You get to me, I say? He only wants your money. And when he saw the gunmen carrying out their hit, you know what him do? Him freeze. And I will read the article. Your pastor is a coward. You understand? The article says, pastor gives detail and witnessing the killing at his church in Chilani. See? Here what it say. "I was frozen to see light flashing." He froze. The pastor saw you dying and he froze. He didn't know what to do. Him turned fool. because your pastor is a coward. You understand? And you might say, well, pastor gonna do what you think, pastor just do human being, then come off of the pulpit. That is not the job for you. You understand? We here in the I.S.U.P.K, we know what it takes to be a shepherd or a leader. You understand? To give up one's life for the sheep. You understand? For the flock. You understand? So if you're not willing to risk your life for your members, come off of the pulpit. You understand? Come off here. That is not your role. You understand? As a matter of fact, burn on the pulpit. Away with the pulpit foolishness. You understand? Just don't stand up as, you know what I mean, a man of God who is a leader of the Most High's people, because you're just not. You're not a leader of the Most High's people because you're a coward and you won't give up your life for the flock. You understand? Commanding General YAHANNA risking life for blacks, Hispanics and Native Indian. You understand? That's all he does. You know what I mean? That's all he cares about. The life of the children of the Most High, the children of Israel. You understand? We here in the I.S.U.P.K, we work for Commanding General YAHANNA. You know what I mean? And we are willing to give up our lives. You know what I mean? For our brothers. You understand? That is just the truth. So if you want to keep your life, see? You come in the I.S.U.P.K, you learn the word of the Most High the right way. You know what I mean? You do the right thing, you keep the laws of the Most High. You know what I mean? Learn this brotherhood. You know what I mean? Learn sisterhood. You know what I mean? That is the way you prove that you love the Most High. You understand? And not following after these cowardly Christian pastors. Alright. According to the pastor, he was stunned as he watched the turn of events which lead to the death of his church member. So your pastor, he saw you dying and he was stunned. He couldn't believe it. You understand? The pastor states that he saw the man sitting down in the church moments before he carried out the gruesome act and intended to greet the unknown man who he regarded as a visitor. However, he decided to leave the young man alone. That is why I say your pastor is not a prophet. You see what I say? Your pastor is not a prophet because he mind tell him say, yo, if we go check out and see what go on. And he decide to leave the man alone. If he had the spirit of the Most High, he would have went and investigate. You understand? To find out who are these new members in the church. I mean, somebody new can come in your environment and you know inquire who them is. That is a lack of brotherhood and lack of care for the lives of your members. You understand? And it's time all Christian church shut down. You know what I mean? Stop teaching the Bible because you are not men of God. You are cowards. You understand? You do not care about the lives of the children of the Most High. You know what I mean? You do not care. All you care about is your pockets. You know what I mean? So when you stop teach the Bible and stop talk about, you know what I mean, when are prophet and when are servants of the Most High, because when is just not, when is too cowardly to be servants of the Most High. You understand? Alright, so you know what I mean? Just to show you that there's a lack of brotherhood and sisterhood in the Christian church, and that we here in the I.S.U.P.K under Commanding General YAHANNA, we teach brotherhood and sisterhood. You understand? And we have a saying, we have a motto: no cowards. You get to me and say, the pastor is a coward. But that is not so in the house of the Most High, which is the I.S.U.P.K. You know what I mean? And with that, I say shalom.
Yeah, you know the chop. Badness no sad. Let me tell you how the badness steer. Dopey bad fly when the Glock display. Tell a boy say no try box this face. Back switch face. You know how your blood clot casket stay, boy. You must see one back this prayer. When the map stick raise that leg straight. Shot misplaced. The key them in your head stop misbehave. Crack his face. The key never tell us say we lock this place. Which locksmith anyway watch this space. War with them bunny like plastic plate. Hey, we don't play around. When you see the U.P.K around, we bring the fucking AK around. AR-15s and AR rounds. We don't play around. When you see the U.P.K around, we bring the fucking AK around.